A biopesticide you've never heard of is used to stop grocery store fruit from ripening. 1-MCP is a synthetic ethylene inhibitor used by large-scale fruit packers to slow down ripening. If you've gotten fruit from the grocery store with uneven coloration or ripening, the use of 1-MCP, which is short for 1-methylcyclopropene, could be the cause. The compound is used as the active ingredient in powders that are combined with water to release 1-MCP gas in enclosed areas with fruit. This gas is used to treat apples, melons, tomatoes, pears, avocados, mangoes, papayas, kiwis, plums, apricots, and persimmons in coolers, greenhouses, trailers, and shipping containers. 1-MCP binds to ethylene receptors on the inside and outside of fruit and inhibits ethylene action, thus slowing the ripening. 1-MCP originally came under heavy criticism in 2005 because the media showed consumers that it could be used to extend the shelf life of fruit for a year without consumers being informed. To this day, produce which has been treated with 1-MCP doesn't have labeling requirements. There is significant debate as to how 1-MCP impacts the feel, taste, and nutrient content of treated produce. There is, however, research documenting that 1-MCP can cause uneven ripening in some fruit. So now that we've covered what it is, let's talk about the safety. Studies originally submitted to the FDA showed the residues of 1-MCP treated apples were extremely low at an average of 0.004 parts per million when a treatment rate 20% higher than what was proposed is used. It's unclear how this treatment rate compares to current amounts used in biopesticide solutions since the studies were done over 2 decades ago. From what I could find in the technical document, the EPA has not established a maximum allowable number of 1-MCP applications on produce. This means that the produce could be treated with 1-MCP multiple times. While there is known workplace inhalation exposure risk, the FDA says that oral consumption risk exposure of 1-MCP treated produce is negligible since it quickly dissipates atmospherically. However, critics have long argued that there is not sufficient in vivo research on the impacts of ingesting trace amounts of 1-MCP to back up the FDA's claims of there being no risk factors. The European Food Safety Authority said that the current risk to birds, mammals, aquatic organisms, soil-dwelling organisms, and non-target plants was assessed as low, but data gaps exist, so conclusions could not be finalized. Given that 1-MCP application is not well monitored or regulated and it's nearly impossible to certify or test for, I argue that more testing needs to be done and produce treated with it should have a disclaimer. And in case you were wondering, 1-MCP is not approved for use on organic items by the USDA because the NOSB deems that having a seasonable crop available year-round is not a sufficient reason to add a synthetic material to the national list. When I was researching this, I noticed a resurgence of biochemical companies using 1-MCP and the preservation solutions that they are marketing to food and agricultural companies to reduce food waste and increase shelf life. I don't want to scare you away from eating fruit and produce if you only have access at the grocery stores, since the benefits overwhelmingly outweigh any potential risks. I do recommend buying what you can directly from local farmers and learning to grow a few things yourself. That's why I have a free farm app with over 3,300 local farms, ranches, markets, and stands across the country for you to find. I also sell over 90 heirloom seed varieties of vegetables, herbs, and fruits. A big takeaway is that food companies need to educate and inform consumers when they treat produce with 1-MCP, since they think they're buying fresh produce, but it could be months old. I would love to hear what you all think about 1-MCP, so please let me know in the comments below.